Okay, this is a brief tutorial on how I created my website. I've gotten lots of questions on how I do this. I'm actually looking to do a session next summer in the Institute maybe and present that as something to do for teachers. So anyway, be aware that my class website has evolved over 7 years. It did not start out like this. And this is also the second generation of my website. It started out as Duncan Math World at Travis, and then I recently got married, so I recreated the whole thing with my new name. And it's evolved every year and added new things. So keep it simple at first. Just put what you need on it. I'm going to start with my front page. I have all my tabs at the top, and I'm using a sidebar layout. To see your layout, you actually go to under Manage Site and Edit Site Layout. If you go to Edit Site Layout, you can have a horizontal navigation, which is what takes those bars on and off. And you can have a sidebar, which is what this is. You can have a footer, which I don't have, and a header, which is what this is up at the top. And you can edit all of those individual items. So I'm going to close that. My tabs at the top, they allow you to be either boxes or tabs like this or just text. I prefer tabs just because it looks pretty. So I have a tab for algebra and a tab for geometry. In the years when I've only taught one subject, I didn't have separate tabs. Everything was on the front page. As far as the front page is, I have my extended day schedule. I used to call it tutoring, used to call it study hall, but now I have different things. Study hall is where anybody can come in, retake a test, get help. Tutoring we have on our campus is actually assigned subject-specific tutoring, so I wanted to differentiate those. And then the other side of the calendar is summatives and any school events coming up. And I have them color-coded for red for algebra, green for geometry to match the whole text. Both of these boxes actually pull from my Google Calendar that I have set up for the school. And let me remind you, everything on here is set up outside Irving ISD under my personal account, which none of the kids can get to. They can't see my account. They can just see my name because that way it's open accessible by parents. No information is submitted through this. This is purely information take in. It is not interactive. So anyway, when we edit this page, use the little pencil up here to edit. You can see that there's really nothing actually on this page. There are little boxes that all link to something else. So this links to a Google Calendar, as you can see. These are text gadgets, which are actually boxes on this page where I've typed stuff in. When I go to a gadget, I can then open it up and put anything else I want in there, change it daily, change it once a year, whatever I need to do. And then I save it. Most of what's on my front page, I never change. It just stays up there all the year. It's purely informational. The Google Calendars will auto-update as I update my Google Calendar. So let's go to algebra. And I'll take you through how I update it every week. Again, if you see on the front page, I've got a box for what we got going on this week. I have a section for recent videos, any homework files they may need, which is generally answer keys or something they need to access during class. Whereas the handouts over here is something they get and work on paper-wise. The shortcuts here links to all these other pages they may need. I have this special little pre-algebra tutorials for students who are missing past things and want to look something up. Any extra credit I may offer will be right there. And then I left all my videos from the first semester up in case somebody was going back. I had some students working on things during the winter break. And it's short because I was out for the first 8 weeks of school having a baby. So there's not very many there. And I'm still leaving them up there for review purposes. So when I come into update, you can actually see on this page, again, there's really nothing actually on this page except for the text gadget pre-algebra tutorials. And did you miss something? Everything else you can see pulls from the recently uploaded files on the extra credit page, recently uploaded files on the homework station, Algebra Station's homework files page, recent announcements on the video page, recently uploaded files on the handout page, and then this one is any recent announcements on the coming up this week in algebra page. So this front page that the kids see and access actually pulls information from other pages. And what that allows is this one page to just show the current material, whereas the pages they pull from has all the old stuff. It keeps you from getting your front page so bogged down with every post you've had every week and the kids can't find the current stuff. And it also keeps you from having to delete everything every week and put up something new, because you want to have the old stuff there as a CYA, just so you can say, hey, you missed it. Look, it was right here. It's time-stamped and dated, when it was posted, when it was available. Why didn't you check? That kind of thing. And it's also good there for any kids who need to go back and review for retests and things like that. So when I come to this page, I actually don't edit this page at all. I never change this one unless I need to change how much is shown. For example, each week I may have 4 to 5 items they need to see for extra homework files or keys. This 6 weeks I had 2 extra credits, so I'm showing 2 files. Last 6 weeks I had 4, so it would show 4 files, and I can alter that to show all, 1, none, or as many as I choose. And you can see right here it says it's showing 2 files from that page. So I'm actually going to update our weekly calendar. So I'm going to go to View More, and you can see that I've actually showing posts 1 through 1 of 11. Because I've actually had 11 posts, you can go back and see every week that I've posted since I've been back from my maternity leave. And so anytime I want to post a new one, I just go right here and I click New Post. And when I do that, it's going to open up a new post. And I change it to week of January 22nd, 2014. And then I'm going to paste in my calendar, which I'd already copied from the email that I send out each week. I used to also give out a paper calendar. I'm stopping that for the rest of this year based on what my kids need and the fact that I was finding more on the floor and less being used. It wasn't really as useful as it has been in years past. That may change next year. So I'm going to make that black. That way we can see everything. And that's all I need to do. Then I click Save. And there it is. And I can go back to This Week in Algebra. And you can see there it is. And this subscribe to posts, by doing it this way, allows parents to actually subscribe through their RSS feed, which you can see up here. I have 4 new things in my RSS feed that have updated. So when I click that, you can actually see it's the stuff I'm doing on my website. If you don't know anything about RSS feeds, that's a whole nother lesson. Don't worry about it. When you go back to the front Algebra 1 page, you can now see that my calendar's been updated and it matches. And then I need to update my videos, and I'll update my folder. They're not quite ready, but I do it all in the same manner. Now, if I want to change how many things are showing, for example, this 6 weeks, I'm not having any extra credit. So I'm going to open the editor on this page by clicking the pencil. I go down to the bottom. Extra credit, I'm going to change this to show 0 files. Save. And save. And so now it's showing 0 files from the extra credit, and I just took them off. And as far as videos are concerned, I'll be updating those as I get them and whatnot. Let's see, I do the same thing for my geometry. My procedures tab never changes. It's just a list of videos about classroom procedures that I made while I was out. Textbook is actually a link to the whole textbook. Useful links is a page that has useful links on it. The class calendar, again, links to the Google Calendar. And then the I have a question button actually links to a Google form that when kids click it, they fill it out and they send me their question. And it actually, I have it set up, the Google form, to email me every time that a Google form is submitted. And by doing that, I can immediately go in and check it and do it. This is just as easy as the kids sending an email, but for some reason, some of my kids, even though they have an email address, because that's how I reply to them, this is easier for them to ask a question than actually to open their email and write the question. Don't ask me, but it was there, again, through feedback. Never done that before, but there it is. I hope that helps you get started. When I originally created my website, I started with a Google template, but you don't necessarily really need to. It's all what you see is what you get, very much drag and drop like a PowerPoint. Under Manage Site is the other thing you want to know about. Manage Site allows you to see everything that's going on. Under Themes, Colors, and Fonts is how I pick my colors. I have it pick all the fonts and everything based on it. You can change it to anything you want. I've been this blue color for a while, so I might be changing it to update it for the spring here soon, but I keep it this because it's school colors. You don't have to worry about sharing your permissions because it's on your personal account, not your Irving ISD. General shows you the general information. You get 100 megabytes of storage. I have 31% used, and I have a ton of stuff on here. You can one thing you want to do is scroll down at the general, and right here where it says mobile, click the checkbox. This is automatically adjust the site to mobile phones because you know a lot of our students are checking through mobile phones, and this makes the site load much better. It loads in one single column, looks much easier. Page templates is simply the different types of pages. Announcements is anything where you just have text that you're putting there. File cabinets are where you upload stuff. Lists, not really useful in the classroom. I don't really use that hardly at all. And web page is all of the other pages that you have, like the front page of algebra, geometry, or the very front page. Attachments is anything you've uploaded. Each year you want to go through and delete all that because that's where a lot of your 100 megabytes comes from. Pages list all the pages that are in your website. As you can see, I've really narrowed it to just what we need. Some of the other things I have on here are links to stuff. For example, my tech sign out or my tech survey, things like that. And you can see any recent site activity. You can see what's happened and what day it happened on. I hope that helps. If this really was helpful to you and you'd like more hands-on to do this together as a group, please let me know so that I have the interest to share and present it as something to do at the Irving Institute, maybe next year, the technology trainings and things like that. All right, if you have any questions, shoot me an email.